Have you ever felt totally misunderstood just existing in a crowded room? Like you're just sitting there, but somehow you're giving off a vibe? Well, you are in exactly the right place. In today's Explainer, we're decoding what's known as the intimidation paradox. We're going to dig into some fascinating recent data and psychology to uncover why certain introverted minds, naturally and honestly totally by accident, command so much attention. So let's jump right in.
Why do people think you're intimidating when you're literally not even trying to be? Seriously, how many times has someone assumed you're absolutely furious when in reality you're just deep in thought, trying to figure out what you want for lunch? It's so relatable. If you have a naturally quiet disposition, you probably carry the weight of this paradox every single day. You're completely at peace, right? Yet people react to you like you're this incredibly imposing figure. It's wild.
Cold, intense, hard to read. According to the psychological sources we're looking at today, these are pretty much the default labels society slaps onto a quiet mind. It's like because you don't broadcast every single emotion 24/7, people can't easily figure you out. And you know what happens when people can't figure something out? They panic. They immediately default to negative assumptions. It's like they treat your perfectly normal resting face as some kind of secret code they absolutely have to crack.
Okay, let's dive into this because society loves to frame this intimidation factor as some sort of personality flaw. You know the drill. People act like your social skills are somehow broken, or they tell you that you just need to smile more to make everyone else feel comfortable. Ugh, right? But the data we're looking at emphatically states otherwise. This is absolutely not a flaw. It's rooted in actual psychology. Your brain just simply operates on a completely different frequency.
Think about the massive disconnect happening here. People perceive you as being icy or standoffish, but what's actually happening is that you're just holding silence. And wow, there is a profound difference between the two. While everyone else starts to panic during quiet moments, frantically rushing to fill the void with meaningless chatter about the weather or whatever, you just stay grounded. That absolute comfort you have with silence, that is exactly what terrifies them. You don't need anyone's approval. This single insight right here from our sources, it's the absolute linchpin of the entire paradox. Think about it. Most of the social world is built on this really desperate exchange of external validation. It's exhausting. So when you just quietly opt out of that game and simply exist for yourself, it completely short-circuits how people expect you to behave. It literally throws them off their game. Now, this requires a pretty vital psychological shift for a lot of us. We really have to stop viewing this as some kind of negative social deficit and instead recognize it for what it actually is, a deeply empowering trait. You see, you aren't intimidating because you're being loud or aggressive or trying to dominate a room. Not at all. You intimidate simply by existing so comfortably in your own quiet power.
At this point, you might be wondering, okay, is this just me? Am I completely alone and feeling like I'm secretly intimidating even when I know I'm perfectly nice? Well, we zoomed out to look at the macro trend here, and honestly, what we found is pretty staggering. So, are you just an outlier, or is there a massive cultural fascination with this exact personality type?
Well, the numbers answer that question pretty much instantly. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what we're talking about, because the data we pulled on trending psychological content is just wild. Look at this. Breakdowns on the traits of people with few friends are sitting at nearly 589,000 views. And content exploring rare intelligence easily pulled in over 270,000 views in just days. Then you've got quiet signs of power tracking high too. To put that into perspective, quantitatively, millions of people are actively, almost desperately trying to decode this exact personality profile online. So what does this all mean? It actually boils down to a highly sought-after concept called adversity intelligence. Our sources identify this as literally the rarest, most underrated form of smart out there. And the crazy thing is, you've likely developed this highly evolved mindset simply by navigating a world that constantly misreads you. Your mind just processes challenges differently, creating this unique intelligence that defies easy categorization. And guess what? That only amplifies that whole aura of intimidation we've been talking about. Now, because a lot of people just don't understand this rare kind of mind, their confusion tends to manifest in some genuinely bizarre ways. Get this. Over 194,000 people are out there researching the hidden behaviors of unconscious jealousy. And a massive 150,000 views are dedicated to exploring why an individual's aura might actually scare people. That's a huge number of folks trying to figure this out. It turns out, when others don't know how to handle your adversity intelligence, their confusion simply mutates. It turns right into fear, or in a lot of cases, jealousy.
So why does all of this actually matter for us? Well, it really comes down to one powerful realization. You are part of a rare, incredibly powerful archetype. Your intensity and that complete comfort you have with silence, those are undeniable assets. For years, the world may have tried to convince you that these were just social deficits, things you somehow needed to fix about yourself. But as we've seen today, the psychology and the cultural data prove the exact opposite.
Which leaves us with one final, pretty provocative question to think about. Is your perceived intimidation actually your greatest hidden strength? I really want you to sit with that for a second, because the next time someone tells you that you're hard to read or intense, I want you to remember the psychology we unpacked today. You aren't flawed. You simply don't need their approval. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep embracing that quiet power, and as always, stay curious.